down to Biscayne. Yikes. 5 on the floor, ride for my dogs. Where here's the thing, you can check the score. Hustle hard, couple scars, wearing bubble frogs. Just like Butler said, you in trouble, y'all. Kept the floor playing, got it all banned. Y'all seen the block, stop with one hand. And Pat we trust, it's power, have the guts. We're here to bring the heat, y'all can hang it up.
Welcome to 5 on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, and Alex Toledo, plus others from the 5 Reasons Sports Network.
Welcome back to another post-game edition of 5 on the Floor. I'm your host, Greg Sylvander. Tonight's floor plan with me, just the coach, Sean Rochester. We have enough. The Miami Heat, as Eric Reed so eloquently put it on the broadcast, the cloud of misery has been lifted. The losing streak is over. 115-106, the final score from the Kaseya Center. Miami needed this one. Oh my gosh, they needed this one. And there were some things to take from it that I think are really going to be worth diving into tonight. So it's exciting that they got back to some stuff. Before we go any further, do want to call out Off the Floor. That's our new Discord server. You got to sign up. This is where you're going to get all of the most articulate, informed, passionate Heat fans all in one place, talking Heat basketball 24/7, but there's channels to talk about all kinds of other stuff. So it can be like a hub for you to do all of your social media perusing. You can move off of the other apps and do it all here. It's $2.99 a month on your desktop, $3.99 from your Apple device. Off the Floor, go to the Discord server. That's where you're going to see it pinned in the description, and to all of our Twitter profiles. We're constantly sharing the links. Try Off the Floor. That's our Discord server. So, Sean, we're going to get into the play of the night. How good did the vibes feel? Let's just get into vibes first. We're going to get into everything else later. I'm deviating from the show sheet. They needed this one, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, and we think it's chaotic as fans, and we look at social media. Like, imagine being one of those 15 guys in the locker room, or the 5-6 guys on the staff. Like, they care about this immensely, and to go through a losing streak like that, the longest one since 2008, it's the pressure is big time. It's not playoff pressure, but like, it's that weird feeling of not being able to get one win. Like, how hard is it? You take it for granted when you're getting them, but when you can't get one.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the assists tonight. That shows me a connected team, right? Like, it wasn't just like Jimmy got us for a 55 and that's how we won. It's not like we beat one of the weaker teams in the league. We played connected team basketball, I would say, on both ends, and that's a good sign. Whatever happened in that film session yesterday, whatever conversation happened, something changed. And now you've got to carry this forward. All the problems aren't solved, right? We're not gonna talk about how like we're good now, but like it's a positive step. And now tomorrow and Friday, we just got to keep making positive steps.
I'm glad you mentioned the assists. Let's go to the aggressive play of the night.
And now it's time for the Insurance by Lynette Play of the Night, sponsored by InsuranceByLynette.com, an A-Aggressive insurance agency. You can reach out to our friend Lynette at 954-581-8800. That's 954-581-8800, or InsuranceByLynette.com. That's InsuranceByLynette.com with 2 N's and 2 T's. Your best play for auto insurance, homeowners insurance, condo insurance, life insurance, or a retirement program. Reach out to Lynette at InsuranceByLynette.com.
So usually we pick one play for the aggressive play of the night, but that's not what we're doing tonight, folks. Now, there's some weird stuff happening with the box score, but follow me here. The Miami Heat had a franchise record. This was on the broadcast, a franchise record, 40 assists tonight. But now the box score is reflecting 38 assists on 42 made field goals. It was 40 assists during the broadcast. I don't know if there were anything that was credited differently or what took place there, or if the box score that I'm reading is wrong. But the assist percentage is best of the season easily, highest assists of the season easily. This is what Sean was talking about when he referenced a connected team. You saw Terry Rozier with 10 big assists and only 1 turnover. They kept turnovers down. When we talk about, them having 40 assists, they only had 8 turnovers. That's just huge. Sean, that's really like, if there was anything that was going to happen tonight that would be an indicator that maybe this shit could actually turn around, it's probably this, right? It's not just one player taking over because you say that's an outlier. Can he do that every night? It's literally this kind of performance, right? This is about as well as we could have expected them to respond.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? There's been a lot of focus on certain players playing certain roles and that type of stuff. And when you look at those assists, it doesn't mean that changed. Like, there's been a lot of discourse about the Tyler Hero off the ball, and it's hard to get assists when you're off the ball, right? You need the ball to get an assist, but you can be on that second side of an action. Terry Rozier can get downhill, spray it out, and then Tyler's attacking that second side, that bent defense, and now he's spraying it out, and now he's getting an assist. These guys, when you look at the assists, like you said, Terry had 10, Tyler had 8, Bam had 5, Jimmy had 6. That's the big chunk. Then you have Kevin Love with 4. You have Josh with 3, Caleb with 2. Like, everyone was involved. And then on the other side of that assist is a made basket. Everyone was involved in that too. Interesting thing, and I always talk about shot dying. I know you probably were going to throw that to me at some point. 91% of our shots came outside of the 4-foot, like that rim area. A lot of short mids. 61% of our shots were in the mid-range. 54 of those percent were 4 to 14 feet. So kind of misleading in terms of, like, we didn't get to the rim, and it was kind of not surprising. Sacramento's a good rim defense team. But the way we shot it, that's the only thing. I know we're going to be, me and you are always positive, but I'm going to say this. Every night you're not going to shoot 52% from mid-range. Every night you're not going to shoot 46% from behind the arc. So that's the only thing about tonight that I will say is that, is it just one of those nights where the ball went in? Are we still kind of, but hey, we're not going to complain tonight, Greg. We're going to keep it positive. We're going to enjoy this.
This is true. I said thank gosh, but it's actually thank Josh. Let's go to the gamer of the night.
And now on 5 on the Floor, it's time for the Gamer of the Night, sponsored by Rock Esports Center, the place to eat, drink, and play all day. Host your next birthday party with them. Located at 15305 South Dixie Highway in Palmetto Bay. They've got a 5,500 square foot state-of-the-art center equipped with all the high-end power. Play all-day passes available for just $25, but if you mention 5 reasons, it's just $20. So mention 5 reasons or 5 RSN. You get to play all day for $20. And now, the Gamer of the Night.
So there's really 2 guys that I think can be called the Gamer of the Night, but we're starting with Josh. Sean, this dude came out firing from the get-go. He started really hot early. 24 points, 9 of 15 from the field, 6 threes, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, closed in a closing lineup that I thought was an interesting one alongside Terry Rozier in the backcourt. That was a big night, but let's also give kudos to a guy who we've asked to step up and now is the time. Jimmy Butler in 34 minutes, 10 of 14 from the field, 31 points, got to the free throw line 12 times. He was 9 of 12 from the line, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover, got a steal. This is the kind of stuff you wanted to see from both Jimmy and Josh. Is just, obviously, this was the best game of the season from him. This is a really positive thing from Jimmy now that he's played several games in a row where he's playing better basketball. I think that if we're trying to pull from anything here positive, as the losing streak continued and Jimmy played well and now has come to an end and Jimmy continues to play well, it's that Jimmy may be rounding into form. Am I onto something there, Sean?
For sure. Very efficient night, 10 of 14 from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, which is, it's not a typical Jimmy thing, but great for him there. 9 of 12 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, engaged basketball. Now, look, we always look at an individual plus minus -1 That's why you don't use single game plus minus, because we damn sure know Jimmy was good tonight, and Josh, the thing I think you got to give him credit for, 3, 4, 5 days ago, he was out of the rotation in New York, didn't get to play. And bounces back in the middle of the week. Like, that's why you want a vet like him. And look, he hasn't had a great season. He's had some moments, but like, to be back in the rotation after being out of it, give you 27 minutes, give you 24 points, active defense. It's cool to see those moments. And maybe that's the sparks that you start to see, that those role players stepping up. And it could be a different guy every night, but it's really cool to see that you have that depth. You have different guys that contribute. And at the end of the day, all that matters, win. We need to have more points than the opposing team. That's it.
That's so true. And you know what seemed to surround Josh tonight and surround a lot of the guys? Smiles. Even Spo getting animated with the challenge on the Josh block. There were moments throughout the game at halftime where Kevin Love and Tyler Hero were like kind of embracing and joking around as they went to the locker room. Smirks from Jimmy Butler. That kind of stuff has not been happening. This team has not been having fun. So for them to come out and you start to see those things, whatever they did in that meeting and film session where they really had a dark night of the soul moment amongst the team. I'm hoping that did turn things around, because I left them for dead, and I'm hoping that I was dreadfully wrong. I'll be happy to eat crow there all day long, because I am not in the business of being right when it comes to the Miami Heat not winning. I want them to play well. So this was a really big step in the right direction because of the way that they look so connected. It wasn't just one guy. It wasn't just two guys. It was everybody playing a connected brand of basketball. And Sacramento's a good opponent. So I thought that was another huge part of this. Let's go to the Eric Rubenstein injury report before we get to our final thoughts.
And now it's time for the official 5 on the Floor injury report, sponsored by our friend Eric Rubenstein, the personal injury attorney. Born and raised in Lauderdale, Florida, lives in Miami, went to St. Thomas. He's a South Florida guy and a huge Miami Heat fan. But the important thing is he can help you get your money that you deserve when something happens to you. So reach out to our guy, Eric Rubenstein. Again, ericrubenstein.com, or ask about me, I got you, on Instagram. And now, the injury report.
The injury report is clean, except Duncan Robinson is in concussion protocol. I don't expect him back for a little bit. They're going to be really careful there. But I heard that he'll be okay and he'll be back. It's just more about them being super careful. So don't expect Duncan Robinson anytime in the next couple games, I'd say. That's just my gut feeling. That's not based off of any intel. I just want to be clear about that. Otherwise, injury report's clear. So that's a good part of this. Sean, final thoughts on what is one of the most needed victories of the season. It was the most needed victory of the season. One of the most impressive victories of the season because of the assist total. I have now checked NBA.com and Yahoo Sports. Both have them at 38 assists. The broadcast had them at 40 assists. I'm going to go with 38 because that's what these box scores are telling me. Eric Reed said 40, so maybe I'm going to be wrong for doubting the great Eric Reed. But 38 assists is huge on 42 made field goal attempts. That is huge. Sean, your final thoughts.
This guy, Brady Hawk 305, he tweeted that we had 39 assists. So that's who I rely on for when I need information. I'm going to Brady Hawk. So I'm going 39 on 42. I don't care about Yahoo, ESPN, any of those other ones. Brady Hawk, he's got the notepad. He's keeping the stats. Look, in all seriousness, it's great to get a win. It's one game, but it's a much needed win. And the good thing, I think, looking forward is that you have 2 days off, so you get a little rest. But I think it's also an opportunity, and we've talked about this. I really hope there's an opportunity to practice.
Yes.
Now, I know that like tomorrow is going to be an off day. They got to travel to Washington, short flight, like maybe not a practice, but like a heavy shoot around where you're getting into some things just for the fact of Terry Rozier getting, some time there. And I believe there's a gap between games after the Washington game. Obviously, Washington is a game that you'd like to get. They lost tonight to the Clippers. They're a team that doesn't play a lick of defense. They can score, but it's a game that you should win, even though you're in Washington. And yeah, just look, keep stacking positive things, positive days, positive quarters, like just continue to get better every day. And that's the only way you're going to dig out of this little hole that we were in.
It's so true. And they really took a big step tonight. So Heat fans should feel good about this victory over the Kings. Thank you to Sean. Thank you to our sponsors. You'll have Ethan and the regular crew back more often. Ethan's been moving. We're chronicling this. We'll see how he eventually makes it back here. Sean, you got one thing more for us?
We almost forgot. We got to give a shout out to the real MVP, the real reason all this happened tonight. Who is it, Greg? The savior.
Giancarlo Navas. Thank you. He saged the arena. He went to his spiritual guru, got the right stuff, and it manifested into a Miami Heat victory. Thank you very much, very much. Shout out to G. Shout out to Miami Heat Beat.
Thank you for listening to the 5 on the Floor on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. After all, someone needs to listen to my dad.